Welcome to my channel, Notorious Crafts. In this video, I will show you how you can make these miniature gummy bears from resin that are perfect for your dollhouse projects. And here are all the supplies that you will need to be able to make these. I'm starting off with this miniature gummy bear mold. It has miniature gummy bears in 3 different sizes, and for this project, I'll be using the most smallest one. I also have this UV resin that is soft resin, so when it cures, it ends up having a gummy texture, which is absolutely perfect for gummy bears. To color my gummy bears, I have this resin dye, and then these are translucent so that when I add them to the resin, they'll end up being clear. A few of these silicone mixing cups to mix my resin, some gloves, these miniature glass jars where I will put the gummy bears inside for storage, which will make a really cute decoration inside of my miniature kitchen. I'm first gonna make some clear miniature gummy bears, and I'll just use the resin without any dye. I will put it into the mixing cup and then gather it with a toothpick so that I could very delicately place it inside of the mold to not get any air bubbles. It is helpful to start putting the resin into the most smallest corners first. So for the gummy bears, I'll put them into the feet, the hands, and the ears. I did end up getting a few air pockets, so I am going to use my toothpick just to try to remove some of them. And I also noticed if I just let the mold with the resin sit for like 10 to 20 minutes, some of the air bubbles did end up coming out. Now that all the air bubbles are gone, I'm going to place it underneath a UV light to let it cure and so that my gummy bears are hardened. Now I'm going to take them out of the mold. It is easy to take them out of the silicone mold since it is very flexible. But here's how the first gummy bear looks. And I absolutely love how they turn out. The detail of silicone molds always amazes me. For right now, I'm going to place the gummy bears on this miniature plastic plate that I have. I'll also share all of the supplies down in the description. Next, I'm going to add some red resin dye and mix it in so that I can have red colored gummy bears. And just as a friendly reminder, these gummy bears are not edible. They are made from resin. So if you have kids, this might not be a good project to have around them so that they do not confuse them with real gummy bears. I guess you could use the silicone mold to make real gummy bears from gelatin. All right, I have my red resin mix. I do like how bright red this color is. So I'm gonna start off putting in the resin in all of the corners. So that's the feet, hands, and ears of the bear. And then I'm going to fill in the rest. After I fill up the mold, I will let it rest for 20 minutes to let some of the air bubbles come up and be popped. And here are the red gummy bears after curing them under the UV light. They lost their vibrant red color. They look more orange, and I'm not sure why that is. Maybe I let them cure for too long. Here's just a comparison. And I really think it could just be I left them too long. So I'm going to leave them for half the time. I think I had them originally under 30 seconds. Maybe I'll do 15. Here's how they look on with 15 seconds. They do look a lot brighter red. So I guess the trick is to not leave them as long under the UV light. Next, I'm going to make yellow gummy bears, and it's the same exact process. I'm just going to mix in some of the resin and then fill up my mold. And then cure it under a UV light. And here are the yellow gummy bears. You can see how squishy they are. I do really like this soft resin texture. And they aren't as transparent as the red ones. I think I added way too much yellow dye, so I think next time I'll add in less. The next color that I'm making is green, so I'm just adding a few drops of blue resin dye into my already mixed yellow dye. I also made an orange color, so I just added in yellow into my red mixture. And I'm just going to keep repeating the same process, filling up my molds, curing them, and then taking the gummy bears out. It would be helpful if I had a lot more molds. This would go a lot faster than only having 4 for every time I'm curing them. These green gummy bears ended up being very dark. I wanted them more translucent to look like real gummy bears, so I ended up just adding some of the clear resin to the green resin dye to get them to be a much lighter color like this. Here's just a comparison so that you can see the darker one versus the lighter one. I also forgot to film how I made the orange gummy bears, but here they are once they are cured and out of the mold. Now to put them all inside my little jar, and I'm so happy with how these turned out. They do look like real gummy bears. Let me know what you guys think of how this project turned out down below in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching and see you guys in the next video.